Want to see more cool videos on our channel? We do, so press this bell and enable to send notifications.
There are certain obvious things that you'll see only in People's Republic of China. These include the Great Wall of China, the giant panda in its native habitat, and the epic skyline of the megacity Shanghai. But all that is to be expected, much as one expects to see the Statue of Liberty in New York or the Tower of London in London. Today, we're going to look at a few slightly more subtle, strange, and often unexpected sights that you'll see only in China. And not because they're physically rooted to the ground there, but because they're the result of Chinese cultural provenance. Number 12. Abandoned cities. Extravagant monuments, spacious parks, modern buildings, and interconnected roads would all seem to indicate a bustling metropolis, but in China there's an increasing number of uninhabited ghost cities that seem to have been abandoned after years of construction. Some of these cities have yet to be completed, while others are fully functioning metropolises, save for the lack of residents. Anyway, here we see a picture of Ordos, one of the largest and most famous ghost cities in China, built to house an expected influx of hundreds of thousands of people drawn to the nation's barren north during a mini-boom. Only a small percentage of the new housing and commercial real estate was ever occupied. While the city is not truly abandoned, it's so sparsely populated compared to its potential that it certainly feels that way. And Ordos is emblematic of many other towns and cities around the country. Number 11. Urine-soaked eggs. China is a place with many unusual annual traditions, including a mud-flinging festival in the country's tropical southwest and a June celebration of eating worms. But one of the most exotic rituals comes in spring, when residents of Dongyang in coastal Zhejiang province chow down on eggs simmered in steaming pots of, wait for it, boy's urine. Sold since ancient times as virgin boy eggs, the local delicacy was officially listed as intangible cultural heritage in Dongyang in 2008. Many residents believe they energize the body, improve blood circulation, and prevent heat stroke. They're also a bargain at around 25 cents an egg, urine included. Across Dongyang, a bustling city of nearly 1 million people, fresh urine is collected every day from the buckets placed in elementary school hallways, where boys under the age of 10 are instructed to answer nature's call, as long as they're not sick, out of concern for, food safety. Some vendors even carry around empty bottles and wait in parks or public bathrooms until they find a parent willing to let a prepubescent son participate in the custom. Don't turn up your nose at the virgin boy eggs. It's a hot commodity in Dongyang. People actively compete to obtain the whittle, and street vendors can turn a tidy profit from selling them on the street. Some vendors have been in business for decades. Number 10. The high-fashion pajama. You may have heard of China's long-time love affair with their comfortable pajamas. It's a passion so strong that you can often see the Chinese wearing their beloved printed cotton sets to the grocery store, walking the dog, or riding a bike. As a country with a massive population, there seems to be no social code of dress among citizens. It's not unusual to see a high-heeled fashionista walking next to a MIP, or man in pajamas, as the blog Mad About Shanghai describes them. The practice is so popular in Shanghai that in 2010, in the run-up to the World Expo, the local government, eager to present a civilized front, launched a campaign urging residents to stop stepping out in nightwear. Number 9. Blatant copyright infringement. In Chinese culture, honesty and rule-following are not at all treated the same as they are in many parts of the world. Being a good cheater or a successful swindler is not seen as a source of shame, but indeed as a badge of honor. That's not much surprise that international copyright law then is not treated with such respect, or any at all. You can't walk through Beijing or Shanghai without finding a counterfeit Rolex watch selling for $5, or a knockoff Nike shirt for $2. China is so notorious for its lack of creativity that they even made the cover of Time magazine back in 2005. Number 8. Crocodiles for food. Let's take this one step by step, shall we? First, yes, Walmart, that quintessentially American institution, has set up shop, or mega shop that is, in China. Indeed, there are more than 100 Walmart locations in the country. Second, in many Chinese Walmarts you can buy a crocodile. And third, said creature is sold as a foodstuff. Crocodile meat might not be common in America, alligator though you can easily find, but in China it's common enough to not turn a head, except mine, and probably yours. Number 7. The Nail House. China has an impressive number of massive developments in the works, from a 1,640-foot wide radio telescope to a 26-mile-long bridge. But all that new infrastructure and construction requires space, which means residents are sometimes forced to move in order to make room for new projects. Some people refuse to leave their homes, however, often because they consider the compensation they've been offered to be too low. In China, these buildings that are left standing alone as development progresses around them are called nail houses, since they stick out like a nail that can't be hammered down. Take a look at a selection of nail houses that have been photographed over the past decade. Number 6. Napping is a national treasure. Even as the classic Spanish siesta has largely been relegated to the past, in China, the nap is alive and well. You'll see Chinese people from all walks of life taking naps with regularity, from the field hand to the Communist Party official to the factory worker to the businessman, and often in very public places. The wellspring of the Chinese nap is almost surely the same as the aforementioned Spanish siesta, with farmers from generations past vacating the field during the hottest part of the day. But today the nap is seen as a semi-spiritual practice that allows one to rebalance their qi, or energy, and keep on with a productive day. Number 5. Ghost marriage. Ghost marriages are legally binding nuptials in which one or both parties involved are dead. What started it all is an unknown story, but the probable reasons as to why such practice is encouraged are mostly to do with social expectations, like a widow can show her eternal love for her deceased husband, and families can have their unmarried deceased children marry in afterlife. And in case you didn't know, India, along with Sudan, is also on the list of countries with such a macabre custom. Number 4. The most crowded beaches ever. China is far and away the most populous nation on Earth, with more than 1.4 billion people living there. But it's also one of the largest countries on the planet, and it has thousands of miles of coastline, so you might not expect to see a beach so crowded as this one, despite the massive population. This is Shenzhen City's wildly popular Dalmatia Beach Park. Located in South China's Guangdong province, the beach has on occasion attracted more than 130,000 visitors on a single day. This and similar images help illustrate two things. 1. China is indeed a populous country, and 2. The Chinese have a very different concept of personal space than most Westerners. Number 3. Family Planning Certificate. Shotgun weddings are not exactly a thing in the People's Republic. Married couples have to apply for and be approved for a family planning certificate, formerly known as birth permit, 3 months before or after the pregnancy. And only with a certificate will your baby be considered legal. It gives an entirely new meaning to Planned Parenthood. That's not all. After delivering her baby, a mom has to sit in bed for 30 days, suffering a restrictive confinement, which is, according to traditional Chinese medicine, supposed to be good for her to recover. No bathing, no washing her hair, and no walking. But the trade-off is being fed loads of nutritious food like chicken soup. Honestly? No wonder you've got to get a license to have kids. It also includes a month of breakfast in bed. Number 2. Facekinis. They might look like antagonists from Batman movies, but don't worry, they're just protecting their skin. If you visited any beaches or swimming pools in China in the past decade, you may well have seen people wearing one of the latest trendy Chinese fashion accessories, the Facekini. These terrifying hood-mask combinations are really nothing more than balaclavas made from stretchy swimsuit material that have somehow been marketed as fashionable. They're primarily worn to protect the skin from the sun's harmful UV rays and to prevent tanning, which Chinese women in particular avoid like the plague. They can also protect a swimmer against jellyfish stings and against any chance that I will approach within 100 feet. And number 1, weird rentals. Being single can totally suck, especially when you head home for holidays and face an endless barrage of parents' interrogations, such as, "Are you seeing anyone? When are you getting married?" Or, "You're a failure." Okay, that last one's not a question, but you can easily shut mom and dad up by renting a lover online and showing off your new, awesome SO. Then you can totally milk sympathy from everyone when you lie and say you got dumped. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please let me know by clicking the like button, do share, write a comment, and don't forget to subscribe so that you can catch up my next video.